have it all. I can have it all.
Hello, everybody. This is Christy Whitman with the Quantum Success Show, where you can get your information and inspiration to create your desires. And I have a beautiful, amazing woman with next to me on the show today. Her name is Carol Tuttle. I've actually had her on the show before, but I'm having her back because she had such great information, and there were so many people that appreciated her information. So I'm going to share a little bit about Carol, and then we'll get right into it. So Carol is a best-selling author of 5 books and the creator of Energy Profiling and Dressing Your Truth. And she wants women everywhere to know how beautiful they are. I love that message. Her online makeover program has transformed the look and lives of women in over 80 countries by awakening them to their unique inner beauty and giving them the expertise to create their own authentic style. Carol wants to help you learn the truth about your beauty so that you can look fantastic and feel effortlessly confident every single day. Thank you for that, Carol. Welcome.
Thank you.
I'm so excited that you're here.
Thanks.
Yeah. So let's get right into it. What is energy profiling and how does it help people heal?
Well, the people at first glance compare it to a personality profiling system because, like most, it has 4 classifications. I call them energy types. But the interesting thing when you start to really study this body of work, that it goes way beyond personality. It goes into a aspect of who we are that's I believe that we're born with that. I call it our true nature, that it's actually a movement. It's how we express in the world through a quality of movement. That's why I call it energy profiling. And personality is interesting because I've learned through the years as I've studied this and really been I'm a great observer of human nature. And personality can be swayed by the feedback our parents give us. So personality can kind of lay over the top of our true nature. And so if we're not acknowledged for our true self in our childhood when we're in our developmental years, we'll skew that to now cater to what our parents really recognize as worthy of validation and affirmation. So we'll start to develop a personality that's actually stifling our true nature or contrary to it. And that can make us sick on many levels. It can compromise us physically. It definitely compromises us emotionally. And even in our whole quest of pursuit in life, you're not able to accomplish things with as much ease because you're efforting so much to try and be someone you're not. So it helps you heal. I've been in the energy healing world for a lot of years, 25 years now, and of any model or process I've ever worked with, it has the most kind of instant effect in self-recognition and embracing it, but then it becomes an opportunity to put it to practice, to say, wow, I've got to trust this now rather than try and live contrary to it. Because, again, that original feedback was, you're not, stop being yourself, and you feel shame. So there's just a healing process of letting go of that shame and letting yourself, because everybody's living it. It's kind of ironic. You can't quiet this. You can't shut it down. You can only create characteristics and personality traits that will try and counter it. But the way you walk, the way you talk, the little kind of nuances of being you, all express it. It's very fascinating once you learn the model because you see it everywhere and everybody just kind of lives it without trying. It's like,
that's awesome.
Quite fascinating.
So can you go over what the 4 types of the energy, the 4 types of energy that people express?
Yeah, and again, you don't have a solo expression of any one. You're a combination of all 4. I believe there's a link to our DNA and the elements. Everything in the physical world is created from a composition of nitrogen, oxygen, hydrogen, and carbon in different configurations as we are. And so there's just a sort of slight variable that must be playing out in our genetics that makes us this nature come forward. And as I describe them, I'll mention some famous people because I think they're textbook cases within the model. But type 1 is an upward light movement. I reference it to the element nitrogen, and in a metaphysical reference, it would be like air. It's up and out. It's an extrovert moving forward, extroverting itself as a forward-moving energy first. And people with type 1 energy have a very youthful energy and a very buoyant energy. And so as children, they're often told that they just are too much movement, to settle down, sit still. They get very animated, very excited, and they need movement actually to learn. They're very social and have a confidence in just their ideas. They are very idea-oriented. That's a natural gift they come by. And being, the half glass full kind of person, they're very optimistic. And so Sally Fields is a type 1. Ellen DeGeneres is very true to her nature. She's very type 1. Sarah Palin is a type 1, and during that particular, our last election period, presidential campaign, she was stylized and congruent with her type 1 nature. She was stylized to be very serious and very structured, a lot of the black and white, the still movement. So her animated nature felt overly expressed. It felt too much because what we saw didn't match the actual expression. And so it's interesting that that's a big piece of the Dressing Your Truth fitting into this, is to put a style on that matches your true nature so that you're really coming forward with who you are in the world, that you're sending the correct message. Plus, you just look better. You're going to look better and feel better. Then type 2 is oxygen, and that's a metaphysical element would be water, and the movement now goes inward. It's very sensitive. It's a gentle, calm, relaxed movement. If type 1 was expressed in water, it'd be like bubbling water rising into steam, and type 2 would be like the Mississippi River, a fluid, connected, really steady movement, not too fast, but deep current, relaxed. It has a calming effect. Type 2 people, where type 1s kind of bring more fun to the experience because they liven things up. Type 2 energy calms you down. Mm-hmm. And these are the children that are often labeled as shy. They're more timid. They need more time to become familiar with things so that they can start to express and connect and feel comfortable. But because they're not immediate in that expression, that's a label that a lot of people have carried over their lives. And recognizing your type 2 nature helps those people heal that. You're able to go, it's not a weakness. My natural movement isn't a weakness. It's my design. And type 2 people that are famous, Princess Diana was a very type 2 woman. She's very feeling oriented in her nature, very sensitive, and a lot of her charity work was always, based on helping children and making a difference that way. Type 2 men are like Mark Zuckerberg is a type 2, and his mission is to connect the people of the world, and their energy is all about making connections. I have a type 2 daughter. She has her journals from her childhood. She recently read 9 years of her journals.
Oh, wow.
I don't even think about doing that.
Wow.
Because she just, that memory, that emotion with the memory. Mm. And these are the people that actually become hoarders because they get so connected to things because of the memory, they have a hard time letting go of things.
Interesting.
And our type 3 energy is a push forward dynamic movement. It has more substance, more quality of, if it were water, it'd be like Niagara Falls. It has the effect of creating an outcome or a result. I'm a type 3, and it's a very yang energy, and it's always been portrayed stereotypically as a masculine energy. Michael Phelps is a type 3. Big pursuits that make lasting change, making a lasting impression. The Grand Canyon is type 3 energy. It has a potency and power. And so a type 3 child, and they're told to calm down all the time. They're told they're too much, calm down, and stop getting into everything. They're the ones that classically have kind of crafted the terrible 2 and 3 because their energy is bigger than them. And I don't use any of those references. I like to counter all of them because they're all negative labels.
Right.
When we understand this nature, we're able to go, oh, it has a value, a purpose. I need to consciously use it to my benefit. And so for me, it was really supportive to understand how to style myself and create my femininity with a very yang energy, a very much more intense energy that can get misread. In fact, I recently did a video that's where I portray myself in each of the styles of each of the other 3 types, and it's pretty alarming how vastly different I look and how incongruent I look with who I am.
Wow.
But then type 4 is a very constant energy. It has focus and a quality of structure and an ability to create order and balance very effortlessly. And it has a inner stillness, a quality of reflection. So in the expression of water, it'd be like a frozen pond or a very still, reflective pool or pond. That it's just incredibly balanced, where there's this quality and type for people to, again, it's more introvert. So we've got 2 that are more extrovert and 2 that are an introvert energy. Type 4 can bring a perfecting quality to the world. And it's a fascinating thing to see our gifts, our natural gifts that come automatically with our nature come into play. Because type 1s have ideas with the possibility that we can make things happen. Type 2s gather details. They take in details, make plans. So it can be really brought into play. Type 3s move things into action to create results. And type 4 people have a gift for stepping back, observing, taking in a keen eye, and seeing where we can create improvements and create more perfecting. And so in that, we're all told interesting qualities that people, type 1s are told they're idealists and they're unrealistic. Type 2s are told they're worrywarts and too slow. Type 3s are told they are overly aggressive and they take charge too often, and type 4s are told they're too critical and they're perfectionists. And so it helps you dial all that back and go, now I want to use this as a value to me rather than something that's being judged as a negative. And again, everybody has some quality of all those 4 gifts, but we'll lead very strongly true to our dominant energy with that gift. And so that itself helps you look at your life and go, am I using my gifts? Am I in my profession? Am I honored for them? Am I seen for them? Am I employing myself in my recreation, in my work, in my life, that I'm using what's natural for me? That's very healing.
Absolutely. Well, I know awareness is huge, but how is having that type of awareness of the energy type, how does that help someone create more joy and even more abundance and affluence in their life?
Well, the first step is you let go of the negative judgments that you've acquired throughout your life. And as you let go of them and re-script that and honor yourself, the outside world mirrors that for you. It starts to shift externally, that other people now start. As you appreciate who you are, others can now appreciate you as well. And there's huge value in that, because it's just easier to live your life when you love yourself and you feel loved and supported.
Yes, I would have to agree.
Think of it as, it's a good thing when it's happening. It's not so great when it's not happening in our lives, but it's a human need. We need to feel that we honestly, I believe, do naturally love ourselves. But when we were told not to be ourselves, so often in our childhood, stop being you, by stop doing that, we question our true worth and we lack confidence. And so your confidence, you really can work on true confidence then for who you are, rather than a false sense of confidence.
So why do you feel it's essential to really truly heal our lives?
Well, I think it's just our design too, that I in one of my more popular books, Remembering Wholeness, I have a section where I talk about that healing is natural, and it's something that's it's attempting to occur in a constant way, that we don't have to create healing. Healing is a given. And I refer to the idea of, if we were really worthless human beings and we felt inept and incapable, if that were truth, if that were actual truth, we would just be in a sense of fulfillment. We'd be able to say, well, I'm worthless and I'm inept and incapable, and I'm glad I know that, and I feel completely fulfilled because I'm aligned with truth. Well, that's not, we're uncomfortable. We're at odds with that.
Right.
We're compelled to healing because what we've taken on as a personal script and a personal reference to our own value is incorrect, Because if it were correct, we wouldn't pursue something different. We'd be satisfied.
Yeah.
I don't know what you do every day, but I find that fascinating that there's something in us calling us to truth constantly, the truth about ourselves.
Yeah, it's
more
amazing.
Than ever.
It's amazing. So how do you feel people could start healing today, like right away?
Well, we have our free course to learn about the 4 types. And the first thing I'd say, though, especially if women have an interesting practice of apologizing for themselves. And I would invite our listeners to not make an apology anymore. Because what you're saying when you make an apology for yourself, or you feel like you have to say you're sorry for something you said, something you did, you're keeping that old cycle going of, I'm still not good enough. I have to make an apology for being me. And it'd be better to just feel the feelings. And if there's shame coming up, it doesn't mean there's any truth to it. In order to heal, we just have to feel what's there. And it starts to integrate itself energetically, and we're able to move forward without having to feel the shame anymore. So I'd say stop apologizing, or I'll also share that justifying, explaining, or defending yourself puts you in a compromised position to say somehow I'm wrong. Being me is wrong.
Right.
And being you is not wrong. It's all you got. It's good to know who you are. Years and years and years ago, I made a decision. I was in my early 30s that I was going to learn to be my own best friend, based on the concept I was going to be the only person that was ever with me 100% of the time. And I didn't like myself at the time. And I was not a happy person. I was very depressed. But I realized I'm never going to get away from me. And so, it would be good to be my own best friend. And I started to practice that. And now I am. I don't have negative thoughts about myself. I've really trained. You got to train your mind.
Yeah.
Your mind just doesn't start thinking in positives. It's like, if you're going to, any athletic activity, anything you're going to pursue, even if it's gardening, whatever, it's a project. You've got to train your brain to think in the positive. And I've done it for years, and I'm grateful to say I have a very affirmative mind.
Beautiful. That's awesome. Love you,
I'm
Carol.
not apologizing for myself.
That's
I
awesome.
can't remember last time I did it. Unless it was really, really a valid reason. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So often it's applied. The apology is not needed, because it's like just saying, oh, I'm a stupid person, so I'm just going to apologize for that right now.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, you have a free gift that you're giving everybody, which I really appreciate. You actually have a course you're giving everybody. And in the course, you introduce them to the 4 energy types, go into it, like all the 4 types like you did, even deeper. And then you actually give detail on each of the types, and you show examples in nature and people, and really where the type energies show themselves. And so it's a free course, and at the end of the course, you'll be able to profile yourself as one of those 4 types, so that you, like you said, you can accept and love yourself at a deeper level, knowing that this is who I am, this is my nature, and not fight against yourself anymore. So go underneath the video. There's a link right there. Just click on the link. It'll take you over to the page where you can get your free course from Carol. I appreciate you giving that to everybody. It's very generous of you. And if this can be the thing for you that allows you to have that better, more understanding, more accepting relationship with you, then, go for it. So go click the link. Carol, I appreciate you being here and giving all this amazing wisdom and information. I mean, energy is everything. And when we can learn how we just naturally move our energy, I mean, that's such a gift to teach everybody. So thank you for that.
Oh, thank you for letting me share it with your community.
Absolutely. So please let me know what you're taking away. Leave me a comment. Let me know which energy type you think you might be, and go over and get the course and see if you're right. See if your first intuition, your insights are what it was after you've taken the course. But let me know what you're taking away today, and have an amazing week. Thank you for being here. Bye, Carol.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching, and here is a related video to watch right now. Also, check out my free webinars on creating whatever you want in your life using the universal laws that I explain in each webinar. So share your thoughts by leaving a comment and continue the conversation at ChristyWhitman.com.